my name is Kaelyn Ryan, and I am here with future legend, Frankiee. You create some of the freshest visuals and concepts for this generation. You're a director, a producer, a business owner, and you write scripts. Working alongside amazing talent, including Pretty V, you have a sold-out, beautiful production that is premiering soon. Please tell us more about it.
Definitely. So The Drop is a music series where we showcase emerging artists. Um, Whenever we were creating The Drop, and for some of the people that seen it, they said it kind of gives them like that 106 in Park vibes, the MTV Unplugged.
Definitely.
And those are things, whenever I was like coming home from school, I was so excited to see. And unfortunately, there's kind of a lack, of that, especially with people that look like us, right? And especially for people that are unheard in a sense, right? Or that the big companies and budgets aren't like pushing. So The Drop is definitely a platform for emerging artists to provide their music in a storytelling manner. Um, After they do their performance, we have an interview where the audience is able to really dig deep into kind of like candid conversations with the artist. I think the dopest part is we're partnered with Be Social on this. So they provide us the space, and together we're ensuring that it's an event that's free for the community. So individuals are able to come at no cost. At the current moment, artists are coming and they're providing their music, and we're not charging them for the large production that we're putting on. But they're really going to be able to kind of maximize their music, their visuals, and just kind of like the promo that they're able to put out for themselves. So it's bigger for like all that's involved. It's big for the community, it's big for the artists, but then at the same time, I think a lot of times the production folks get looked over. And I think that's what's really dope about this, because we have a lot of dope people that are working in the background with us on our 919, from the videographers, the graphic designers, and even our director, Brianna. She's amazing. So you know what I'm saying? We have a lot of dope people that are kind of like helping us out. So um it's kind of great to be able to showcase everybody's work. Um and I think the last thing that I will say is a lot of times people have an urge to want to be famous or to want to be in the industry, but I think they don't understand that there are different routes and ways to kind of navigate this, right? So you might not make it to the front of the screen. Um, you know, that might not be like the first thing that you come up on, right? You might have to be back behind the camera, and nothing's wrong with that, because you have the opportunity to really understand how a production is run. Like, everybody have to start from somewhere. I'm not necessarily an in front of the camera type of person. People are able to see like, oh snap, like, it's kind of dope that I can be a videographer, or it's kind of dope to be a director or to be a sound engineer, and see the different parts and components of kind of like the production part of it as well.
You are definitely shining a light on those background roles that without them, the front of the house won't operate the same without the heart of the house. So without, not me plugging in the restaurant lifestyle. Anyway.
It's all right. I understand. I was there too.
So without camera, crew, production, lighting, sound, mics, post edits, pre-setup, directors, script writers, without all that, artists like your artist LJ won't be able to shine to the capacity that he's supposed to, because it takes a village. And a lot that we see on screen in that one moment took months and sometimes years of development in your mind and in your heart and in your prayers before it comes into fruition. So I love that you encompass all parts. And you're such a sweetheart. I don't want to go on without expressing how much of a sweetheart you are. Our union is so random. And we still have not met in person, but that will happen. I'm really proud of you. I see God's hand in your life, and I can't wait to be a part of or in support of anything that you do going forward. So yeah.
Because you already know that you're gonna be a part. Because really, technically, you were supposed to be on the drop.
Yes.
Yeah. Of course, I knew that you were gonna knock it out the park. It has been wonderful working with you. With every project. And I can't just sit here and make it seem like I'm out here just doing great things, because you are doing some magnificent things, for real, for real. I'm so proud of you.
This industry can drain us all. Between the long nights, the creative differences, the budgets, and the deadlines, it's advantageous for one to lean on an unshakable source, and that's Jesus Christ. So speak to God's involvement in your life and in your journey.
I think overall, whenever it comes to like my next step, I always look towards God. I think a lot of times people think about like a 5-year or a 10-year plan. But for me, like I'm fully just leaning in on the power of God. I started off as a script writer, and I never see myself producing a show that was for emerging artists to be able to bring their music to a platform. And it's just kind of like a true testament to like trusting God and not trying to be in control of what God actually has for you.
Talk to me about your journey and how it began.
Overall, just as a child, I've always been interested in writing. I wouldn't say that I was like the person in English class like excited about those type of writings, but whenever it came to like creative writing and like writing for myself, I always enjoyed it. So I think in college, I found like a real passion from watching Awkward Black Girl from Issa Rae. And I was looking at that and I was like, this is really inspiring. And like she was doing short films at the time, and it was like it felt so tangible, it was so digestible, it was so relatable. And from there, I think that really kind of just got me introduced to like production and wanting to write. And then somehow I just kind of found myself directing, producing, and all of these things.
Yes. So I wonder if you can provide me with 3 words to describe how your journey has been, and then 3 words to describe what your future looks like.
We have to start with blessing. Like, I'm not trying to say, but I just think overall, my journey from where I actually started from and to being here is a true testimony. So ultimately, I just have to say blessing. That is definitely one of the words. I also say gratitude. I think I have a lot of gratitude for the people, places, and things that are in my life.
Yes.
I'm very appreciative of my losses as well as my wins. I don't necessarily see too many things as a loss. I always I'm looking for ways to kind of like improve. And I think, whenever you're looking at things from that aspect, it's really hard to have a bad day.
Very true.
They're happening because we're human.
Yeah.
But just being really grateful and having gratitude for where I'm at right now, that's definitely one of the words that I can think of. Third word, I'll say love. It's like one of those things. Like again, it's being very appreciative of life. I think it's very easy to complain, but it's really easy to say what you don't have. But just going back to saying that, I might not have the community that like one would just like be like, oh yeah, this is perfect. But I have a community, right? And sometimes it's kind of like we forget like those people that are like there to really lift us up, even if it's just like a text message or a simple phone call. One of my cousins, he literally just calls me like probably every month or two. You know what I'm saying? And whenever I see his phone or his phone call, I just appreciate that, because we get so caught up in our lives and we feel like we got to get to the next thing and we forget people. I'm just really, even for myself, trying to take the moment to kind of step back from work, take a moment to step back from like where I'm trying to get next, and really love on my people, right? Like, yeah, and just show love to the people that are showing love to me.
I'm going to answer this second part on behalf of you. Okay. This is what I feel in my heart. Dynamic, necessary, and unstoppable. Dynamic in the sense that you are very meticulous with what you do, you're well thought out, and you love what you do. So there's no way that you're going to present something that doesn't represent that if you have the option. You are necessary. Necessary because you are a light. The Bible says we are salt and light on this earth. Where light is, darkness cannot live in the same space. So you carrying the mantle of being a Christian and having the love of Christ in your heart and loving people even when they're unlovable is a necessary character trait that the industry and our homes and our lives and our neighborhoods need. So you being that person is necessary for every room you go into and will bless people with every encounter, in my opinion. And then I said unstoppable. And going back to, with Christ being with you, who can be against you? And that's your backing. That's what you lean on. That's what I lean on. So there's no reason why you should be stopped. There may be a pause. There may be a regroup. There may be a rebrand. There may be an adjustment, but never stopped. Never stopped. Because what God put in you, he will see it completed. There will be a finished work in you. That's just what it is. What he gives us is the desires of our heart. You desire this because God gave this to you. And where he guides, he provides. He guided you to this journey. He will provide everything that you need. It's just the trust in between the last blessing and the next blessing. And but you are unstoppable. So dynamic, necessary, and unstoppable.
Being a vessel from God, because look at you speaking to me. I love that. I really love that. I mean, you speaking to some things that we you know what I'm saying, I'm going through now. So I really appreciate that.
Before we go, let them know why they should stay tuned for everything you do with the drop going forward. What's to be expected on the next performances? How can they be a part? How can they submit? What can they do to be a part?
Most definitely. So I think overall, I feel like we're in talks with a lot of great artists right now about coming onto the drop. So I'm really excited for the future of the drop. Like anything, it's a work in progress, but we are going to be having another one really soon. This is not just me. I'm here talking to you, but I'm really here to speak for like the team as a whole. So like I've said before, Brianna, she's a wonderful director. Rio, he's an amazing videographer out here in Charlotte. We have Ash that does our graphics, and she's so amazing. Anytime I'm calling her, we're on the phone really late trying to get our graphics together, and she keeps everything so like in style and in tune with the demographic that we're serving. And there's so many other people that I can call out. But I think just people being able to get a sense of like the artistry in Charlotte, there's kind of like, I'm not going to say that it's not here because that would be a lie. Like there's a lot of creatives here in Charlotte that are doing wonderful things. And I think it's very important to shine a light on the dope people that are doing stuff, the dope artists that are here building community. And I think overall, like sometimes people don't want to go to the club, right? And they don't want to like go out. This is an event on a Saturday night that people can actually come to for free and really gain an experience. Come dress nice. You are going to be on TV or on the show, but